Hello everyone, welcome to this week's reading group. Uh, so today I'm going to present the paper titled Internal Video in Painting by Implicit Long Range Propagation. You can see the author's names in the slide. Okay, so first of all, what is it and why do we need it? So let's imagine a situation where we would like to hide a particular object or a thing from a video. Now, this could be something like, let's say, a brand logo. We have to blur it out to avoid copyright issues, or it could be something. It could be a watermark, or it could be something that is explicit and must be censored. So generally, what we do is we either blur it out, or we paste solid color over it so it doesn't show. But this can cause a variety of problems. For example, it can cause the neighboring regions to also be blurred or blocked out, and it also ruins the aesthetic of the video. So the video wouldn't be as pleasing to look at as it was before. So let's see a few examples. So for example, you can see the Fantastic Beast movie screenshot over here, and it has Korean subtitles. But for example, we already have this video and we don't want Korean subtitles. We just want to watch it without any subtitles. And on the right, you can see an image. Let's consider this to be a frame from a video, and you can see that there's someone photobombing this. So we would like to remove that person. So how would we do this? So the paper proposes a method to implicitly propagate information from the known regions to the unknown regions. First of all, let's understand what video in painting is. It's a field of computer vision that aims to remove objects or restore missing or tainted regions. So this works first by adding two regularization terms in addition to the ones we generally use to address the ambiguity and the deficiency problems for the videos. The ambiguity regularization term benefits detail generation, and the deficiency regularization term reduces temporal consistency. So at the time of writing, at the time of publishing this paper, this was the only method that has the ability of removing objects from 4K video with a single frame mask. So single frame mask is uh, for a single frame mask is something like, let's say there's a video and you only take one frame, and in that one frame you mark the object that has to be removed. We will understand the regularization terms further in the coming slides. So let's first understand the method in brief. So we take a set of video frames X. This is X1 to Xn, where n is the number of frames in the video, and then M is the set of the masks, which is again from M1 to Mn. Our goal is to generate the in-painted video Y, which has frames Y1 to Yn, which is both spatially and temporally consistent. Now, the information we can gain from X and M is represented by the equation there. So that is y1 can be addressed as x1 dot product of 1 minus m1. So m1, let's say the m1, in the m1 we have the first frame and the object is masked, and we want everything but the masked object. So it's 1 minus m1. Now let's understand what cross frame reference is. So we will now look at three different observations that the authors made. The first of which is cross frame reference. So I would like you to look at the right side of the image. You can see local patch P1, local patch PJ, and then they have the output patches under them, and then they have the inference. So similar content sometimes appear in multiple time sequences in a video. So in patch P1 in frame X1 and patch PJ in frame XJ, you can see that the objects are very similar and their positions as well. The boy is riding a cycle, and the position of the cycle relative to the boy and his limbs is fairly similar. So we can say that these two frames are similar. Now let's understand the second observation made, that is neural networks as an universal function. So we know what overfitting is. Overfitting is when the model predicts exactly what the data has offered. So it is not generally not a good practice, because we may sometimes get we we may get incorrect predictions. But here, if the architecture is properly designed and it is overfit properly on the training data, then the in-painting network generates a high quality in-painting results on the input images. So so we have to design a neural network that can be trained to overfit to a certain threshold. And if we overfit too much, then again there will be a problem like in the general cases. Now let's look at the third inference, that is translational equivalent convolution. We know what translation is. Translation is just simply motion. It's a type of motion. So we know that convolutional operations share weights, and if the input we feed to the network is translated, then we expect the output of the network to translate in the same way. So let's say the frame pj is a translated form of the frame p1. Then our network should generate higher quality contents for pj as it for p1. So we don't expect much of a difference. We just expect that the image will be translated as in the input image, and then the object will be removed. Now let's look at some more observations. So we understand now that by learning how to inpaint the known region, the model will learn how to inpaint the unknown region. So, for example, the area which is not masked, if we learn to inpaint that, we can easily learn how to inpaint the unknown regions. So, for example, the areas that are masked and must be removed. So we must inpaint the area over the object that has just been removed. So let's consider neural network F, which takes three inputs: xi, mi, and m dash t. And in each training step where I and t are randomly selected frame indices, m m dash t is augmented by mt by random translation, and xi is masked by the union of mi and m dash t. So you can see the two formulas that we have. So y1 is the output we expect from the model, and the L rec is a loss during the recreation. So you can see that is we take the L1 norm. So in the starting, we address the problems of ambiguity and deficiency. So the ambiguity is when there are multiple unaligned images matches. So we have found matches, but they are not properly aligned, and they may not properly fit. And deficiency is when there are no good matches. So we haven't found any good matches at all to add in the masked region. To address these problems, we add two more loss terms. You can see the loss for ambiguity and the loss for stabilization. Now let's understand how the training was done. The model was trained on the Davis dataset. Davis stands for densely annotated video segmentation. So for the first 60,000 iterations, the model was trained using only the reconstruction loss. So we saw this before. Using this loss formula, we trained for 60,000 iterations. Next 20,000 iterations, we use the other regularization losses. So we saw the two losses before just now, ambiguity and civilization. So the optimizer used was Adam, and the learning rate was 2e minus 4. The training took about 4 hours on a single NVIDIA RTX 2080 Ti GPU for a 80 frame video. So the video had only 80 frames in it. Now let's first look at the how the Davis dataset is structured. So this is something. This is an example of the Davis dataset. You get a video, and the object that must be removed is masked. So you can see the objects that must be removed are standing out from the rest of the video. So now I'll move on to the next slide. So let's look at the quantitative results. We can see the results compared to different methods used, compared to the method used in this paper, and you can see different different metrics being used to measure our success. So PSNR stands for peak signal to noise ratio. It is the ratio between the maximum possible value of a signal and the power of the distorting noise. And then we have SSIM, which stands for Structural Similarity Index Measure. It is a method used for predicting the perceived quality of digital television and cinematic pictures. And LPIPS stands for Learned Perceptual Image Path Similarity. And in the bottom right, you can see the results of a survey. The 18 participants were invited to rank the results of the four methods. So you can see the method used in this paper: FGVC, STTN, and InterVI. So 18 participants were invited, and they were asked to rank the videos in terms of visual quality and temporal consistency. And there were a total of 810 votes. And as you can see, the method used in this paper clearly stands out at rank 1. Here you can see some images. So let's say that the first image of each row is the input we give to a video. So you can see there's a mask over the just over the rhino's abdomen, uh, and our task is to remove that area. the, so as you can see, most methods produce a lot of noise, and but the method used in this paper is produces a very smooth result. You can see the other three rows as well, especially in the last two rows. You can see that there's a lot of blurring in the FGVC, OP, and STTN and internal VI. But in the method suggested in this paper, there are no blur. There are no blur signs. So let's take a look at this. So we have a image, and then the model predicts the mask, and then it removes it. You can see the four examples here. So take now let's take a look at the results in video form. We have already taken a look at the results in the image form. So as you can see, the other methods have been fed the same input, but they produce blurry and distorted images as frames. They fail to complete constantly blocked large missing regions and show abrupt artifacts. So here you can observe a, a man playing tennis. I would like to go back to that. So let's look at this. You can see this is the mask in the top left, and most of the images have some kind of blur. This is more clear in video format, but I just wanted you to see the image form as well. So we can clearly see that something is being hidden, but in the method suggested in this paper, there are drastic differences. Okay, so thank you. This was my presentation, and I would also like you to know that the same authors for this paper have written another paper, which is a combination of external and internal video and painting. So maybe you can check that out as well. Thank you.